going to share my screen with you. Okay, today we will start with the Phantom of the Opera, the most famous organ pieces. Okay, so the director and the composer is Andrew Lloyd Webber. This piece was composed in 1986. It describes the love triangle between the phantom who lives in the sewers of the opera house and the Christine, a beautiful soprano, and the theater manager Rao. So it's the love triangle stories. It's a love story. Okay. And in this piece, you could hear the organ. It will play very weird atmosphere to create those strange vibes. And this is the most famous section of the Phantom of the Opera. So you will hear dun, 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 dun. Those chromatic scales was played by the organ. So let's talk about the Phantom of the Opera. It took place in the Paris Opera House because of its long history. So Paris Opera House is indeed the haunted house, 是一个鬼屋. There's two examples that shows how things happen, like weird things happen in the Paris Opera House. So in 1898, a chandelier fell and killed one person. Chandelier 就是水晶灯. So this person was just sitting right at seat number 13. So you know 13 is indeed an unlucky number in the Western country, right? And here comes another example. A ballerina died of stage fire on the 30th steps. 那另外一个例子就是有一位芭蕾舞者死于剧院的大火，那就刚好是在第13阶的台阶上。And her pianist husband was disfigured during the fire. So you could see one people was killed by a chandelier and there's someone with these figures. So those two coincidences, just like the plot in the Phantom of the Opera, right? 跟这个歌剧魅影的剧情很像. So the plot, so it is a love triangle. We got those three characters, Phantom, Christine, and Raoul. Phantom is disfigured and he was abandoned by his parents. So he lived underneath the Paris Opera House alone. Okay, so that's why he was always wearing the mask. But he was very talented, so he could write pieces, like outstanding pieces, distinguished, talented composer. Christine, she is an innocent, beautiful soprano. 那她就是一位女高音，很漂亮的，很天真无邪的女高音。Rao, he is a theater manager, is a rich businessman, and he was also the childhood friend of Christine. So they know each other when they are small kids. Then they have this relationship. Okay. So this love triangle, you could see both of these two guys are fell in love with Christine. But Christine chose Rao instead of Fenton because she's a little bit afraid of Fenton. He's so crazy and madness for Christine. So she's really, really afraid of him. So that's why Christine turned to Rao for help. Okay? But Fenton is actually Christine's vocal teacher. So who teach her how to sing and how to win the competition. Also, that her become the leading soprano in the French opera house. So this Because of this love triangle, it caused a series of plots such as jealousy, chasing, and even murder. So this is the special thing. This is a chandelier. It was just hanging on the ceiling. But in the middle of the show, you can see the chandelier will crash into the audience. Okay, so it's amazing. If you go and check this musical, you definitely need to see this. Okay. Okay, so here are an activity for you. So I want everyone to listen to those three musical pieces, and you need to let me know which one did you like first, did you like most. So choose your favorite one, and you need to mention your reasons. Okay, so piece number one is "Think of Me," was sung by Christine, and piece number two is "All I Ask of You," which is sung by Rao. Okay, and number three is the music of the night. It was sung by the Phantom. Okay, so they got different voice. You can listen to those three pieces and then let me know and write your answers on Zubio. Okay, so next we are going to talk about the secret of music in mathematics. So the year is divided into 12 months. 一年有分成12个月. So which was formed through the evolution of human civilization and which became the calendar year that we commonly use today, right? And so does the music, okay? So how can we have this music? You know, we have one octave, 一个八度, and it can set up to 12 notes in one octave. And this became the law of the music. So they divide an octave into 12 tones, which means you will hear da 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 da. So we have 12 notes in one octave. Okay. So in the West, we will use C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So total 8 notes. And if you add those the chromatic note, it will become C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, like that, okay? So in the West, we will use those letters as a note. But in Taiwan, we often use the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do as the words when we sing in those notes, right? All right, so we know that in the Western country, they have the C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But did you know in China, in ancient China, we also have the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, but just that is in different names of those notes. Okay, but did you know which come first? Is it China first or the Western country first? Okay, so the answer is the China comes first. In China, there's a guy called Zhu Zaiyu who invented the equal temperament in 1584. So it is the China who created the world's first 12-tempered instrument. 好，那其实是中国呢最早发明这种12平均律的乐器。But you can see they didn't have the note like C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Instead, they have those Chinese words like 应中、无意、男女、夷则、临终、黄钟。好，临终就是 I think 临终 like do， 那黄钟可能就是 so 这样。So they have to that Zhu Zaiyu is the originator of the piano theory. Okay, so you can see Zhu Zaiyu invented the 12-tone temperament in 1584, while Bach invented the 12 temperament in 1722. So they have like 138 years gap. So Zhu Zaiyu is 135 years earlier than Bach. Okay, so Johann Sebastian Bach, he is a German. And if you play his piece, you will find this BWV, which is the abbreviation of Bach, Werkverzeichnis. So this is a German words. So you need to pronounce in German, okay? So the BWV means the work number of Bach. So if you check if you play Bach's piece, you will see BWV on the right side of the sheet music. 你就看到这个 BWV 代表的是他的作品编号。So Bach published the Well-Tempered Clavier, Volume 1 and 2 in 1722 and 1742, respectively. 好，这就是两侧的12平均律键盘曲集。So he was using 12 equally divided notes as the name of the keys. So he composed 12 major and 12 minor keys. 好，用这12个音去录制，好，创作大调跟小调，总共有12首大调跟小调的曲子。So each major or each minor will consist of one prelude and one fugue. 好，那每一首大调跟小调都附有一个前奏曲跟副歌。So totally it will have 24 prelude and fugue. And this is also have got this title, The Old Testament of the Piano, 就是钢琴的旧约圣经。We got the New Testament of piano, that is Beethoven's piano sonata. 那是新约圣经是贝多芬的，那旧约圣经就是 Bach 的这个12平均律。So this is Bach Prelude in C, 好的第一首。And we will listen to this music played by Lang Lang. And this is the piece that related to Prelude in C. This is Gounod, the Ave Maria. He is a French composer, Gounod. He was using the Prelude in C as accompaniment, 把它当伴奏, and added his own melody to create this new piece called Ave Maria, 圣母颂, that we are familiar with today. And this is like a very famous piece. So it was also adapted into like vocal music, piano music, and orchestra music, etc. Okay, next we want to talk about the music secret of proportion, 比例. String, which is the bell instrument, and it's the most numerous instrument in orchestra. So the string family include the violin, viola, cello, and bass. 包含这4个乐器. It got beautiful shape and is made through rigorous calculations and complex handmade production. 那它的造型很优美，因为它有严格的计算跟这种繁复的手工。In like 200 or 300 years ago, there's 3 famous string violin producer, okay, so manufacturer. So they will produce all like handmade. So that's why each violin are very, very expensive. And you know, the violin, it was conformed to the golden ratio of the structure. So 1 to 1.618. 所以提琴就隐藏着这个黄金比例。So there are 3 major Italian violin making families from 16th to 18th century, which includes Amati, Guardinari, and Stradivari. So those are like exquisite violin making technique. It's all handmade. It's worth $10 million. 每一把琴都价值上万美元。And you could take a look if you want to see those real, very, very expensive violin. You could go and visit Qimei Museum. They collected many, many violins there, different brands from those different families. Okay, and if you're really talented, you could borrow violin from Qimei Museum. They will just give it to you. You don't need to spend any money. It's free, okay? But the condition is you need to be very, very talented. Okay? And this is the golden ratio. It's 1 to 1.618. And it was proposed by Euclid. And our life is full of the objects that conform to the golden ratio, such as Nautilus, 鹦鹉螺, the Mona Lisa smile, the Parthenon, and the Vitruvian Man was painted by Da Vinci. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop here. See you.